Good morning, Jefferson.
Good morning, Jefferson. Good morning, Jefferson.
Good morning, JMS.
Good morning, Jefferson.
Good morning, JMS.
Good morning, Jefferson.
Good morning, JMS.
Good morning, JMS.
Good morning, Jefferson.
Hey JMS!
I'm Zaid.
I'm Nova, and today's October 8th.
But before we continue an action-packed show, please stand for the pledge. Please be seated. The amazing people for today are Georgia Bash, Maria Bernardo, and Malia Eubanks. Feliz cumpleaños!
Now for these announcements, there's a UVU meeting on Thursday in room 302 from 3 to 3:45. Have fun!
Picture retakes will take place on October 15th. Make sure to do your hair and smile.
There's a football game today at Beer Middle School. Only varsity will play.
There's a volleyball game on Wednesday at South Lake. 7th grade will start at 4 and 8th grade will start at 5. Good luck, girls. All 6th grade campers, the camp form for picking up your bunkmates is due this Friday.
Late forms will not be accepted. All forms must be turned in to the office by Friday at 8 a.m. Here's some more football action. JV will play at Mason Middle School. The bus will leave at 2. Don't be late.
Patriots with Pride will be on Thursday from 3 to 3:45, and the $10 application fee will be collected at the meeting.
There's a Pokemon Club meeting after school. The registration will be needed. Please see Miss Finan and Mr. Cison.
Before we end this wonderful show, let's watch a video brought to you by Mr. Townsend and Detective Jockman.
Hi, I'm Jason Townsend, the assistant principal, and I'm here with Detective Jockman, our school resource officer, and we are going to talk to you about some stuff that unfortunately has been happening regarding threats. So I have Detective Jockman here to answer from a criminal perspective. Obviously, with any type of threats or any type of weapon discussion at school, students can face up to any type of suspension up to and including an expulsion from Lakeview Public Schools. But as far as a criminal perspective, the first question I have for Detective Jockman is, what can happen if someone talks about a gun or other weapons?
So in addition to school discipline, like Mr. Townsend said, all it takes is for statements from one student or not even a student to make other students feel like their safety or their lives or their well-being is at risk. And it can be considered a threat, and then we can start to look at it criminally.
All right. The next question would be, what could happen if someone talks about violence towards someone?
So even if it is just a general statement, or you're speaking of, like, for example, we had video games, right? Just because you're speaking about violence toward one person doesn't mean that you're not making another person nearby feel threatened. So that's the major focus of today, is knowing what you're saying and realizing that just because you're having a private conversation, other people may hear that private conversation, and based on how they're made to feel due to your statements, that can fall back on you.
And what about violence towards a school?
Any statements made of violence toward the school are always going to be looked at in the most serious manner. They can come as a misdemeanor charge or a felony charge. And currently, what most students don't realize is I have already had several students throughout the district this year being charged with both misdemeanors and felonies for making threatening statements.
What about if the student isn't even at Jefferson Middle School at the time and they make a threat, if it's on Snapchat or social media?
So any form of social media or communication, if it involves the school whatsoever, it could be related to an incident that happened at school. Maybe you had an altercation with someone. It could be speaking about what you might do to somebody at the school. It could be speaking about what you might do to somebody at any of the schools on school grounds. If it has anything to do with the school, or it disrupts the normal flow and the amount of security or safety that any student in the school or any other Lakeview school feels, then it can be looked at as a school threat.
What about if it's on Snapchat or text message and it gets erased? Can anything still be accessed, or is everybody in the clear if it gets erased?
So that is a common misunderstanding of Snapchat. I know Snapchat is very popular with kids because everyone thinks that once it's gone, it's gone. That's not the case. Even if it's not on your hard drive anymore, which most of the time, even if it disappears from your texting thread or your Snap thread, it's still on your hard drive. And if it's not on your hard drive, it's very easy for me to fill out a search warrant or a subpoena to Snapchat to get your entire history, which means messages, story posts, photos, videos, anything that you think is gone is still accessible for quite a long time.
And last question, because this is usually what the answer is when talking to students who do something like this. What about if a person states they were just joking? Can they still have charges pressed?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, that is the most common excuse that we hear, right? Oh, I was just joking with my friend. Well, the problem with that is other people around you don't know that you're joking, okay? Or maybe they do know that you're joking, but it still makes them uncomfortable. Even if I were to turn and look at Mr. Townsend right now and be laughing and say, I'm going to kill you later, that can still be taken as a school threat because the person sitting behind you might not realize that you're joking. So, as I said yesterday to one of the classes, the word gun should never be made a statement in any of the schools. Any talk of any kind of weapon should not happen in the schools. Any talk of violence should not happen in any of the schools. Any of these things, if you're to avoid them, you're safe. If you start saying things that make other people feel uncomfortable, there's a good chance that you're going to be sitting in Mr. Townsend's office speaking to him and myself and maybe the principal and maybe the dean and maybe the counselors, and it's going to be a very uncomfortable situation. And that's not what Mr. Townsend and I want. It's not what the staff wants. We all want you to be happy. We all want you to be comfortable and feel safe and have a good time while you're at school learning. So let's work together and make that happen.
Well, we thank you for joining us, and once again, as Detective Jockman said, we want everybody to make good decisions. We want the school to be safe for all students, all staff, for everyone at all times. So please think about what you say before you say it, and if it has anything to do with any type of weapons, threat, even if you're joking or not, please do not say it. Thank you very much.
That's all we have for you today, JMS.
Remember to be prepared for your second hour.
Bye!